welcome to a Scratch and Jotters Conversations with the Creator. Today we're talking to Sarah from Humbly Designed, one of the new brands that's come on board in our little stable of stationery. So hi Sarah, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I'm so glad you decided to have this conversation with me. I love learning about how businesses are created, how other people have found their way in the world of beautiful stationery
Yeah,
and the things that inspire you. So I'm hoping this conversation will get nice and deep into that.
for sure.
Excellent. Are you ready to get started?
I am very excited.
Okay, excellent. So can you please tell me a little bit about yourself, your business story, and what motivates you?
Absolutely. So our business, it's funny looking back because at the time it wasn't really this hustle or ever something that we had big plans or big dreams for. It was really just something that it was my husband and I run it together, and we started it back when we were dating. So it was just kind of this little passion, hobby, side hustle thing that we started.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it was birthed from. And what's really motivated us is that we are both very creative, and we've always had some sort of project that we're working on. And so the idea of just kind of starting a little creative project together just made perfect sense for us. And it's been so fun the whole time.
So you both work in other roles. What do you both do?
Yeah, so I am also a wedding hairstylist,
Yeah.
and I'm also studying business at uni. And then my husband, his background, he's trained in industrial design, and then he's studying architecture. So very, very creative industry. So
Yeah.
yeah, been fun.
And it seems like the perfect marriage of like that design side and that precise, artistic side of architecture where it's
Yeah,
really, structural and gorgeous.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that was a little bit behind the motivation for starting Humbly Designed. So
Mm.
what's your favorite thing about working on your own business?
I think that the more you do it, the more you get invested in it. And it's something that you can be very genuine with. I know in the past when I've done worked in other companies or, had work experience through uni, it's not quite the same when you're working for someone else and kind of working towards their vision. And so I find that when it's something that you have generally created and generally love, like the products that you design, it's so special then sharing that with others. Um, I would say also it has been quite special, just the fact that we get to do the business as something together. So it's something that we get to have in common. So that's been really nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I used to work with my husband. I met him at work. And
Oh,
so, we used to get to work together and now we don't. And I miss that. I
yeah,
miss that of
sure.
working with him. It was
Yeah.
one of the joys.
Yeah.
Do you have any other current projects or are you looking at new products for the Humbly Designed range? Is there anything that you can speak on?
I can. There's lots of exciting things. I think, as I'll say many times, I'm sure, I'm always kind of a bit of a visionary. So I always have an idea, have a new product in the mind, always going on.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, we're very excited. We have a bunch of new stencils that we want to release. Yeah, so we've really loved the response and also just loved creating the stencils. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I've got lots of designs. I made one up last week, a little tester. But yeah, lots of for bullet journaling and Christmas cards and all sorts of things.
Yeah. The botanical stencils I've found and I've had a little play. I'm just going to share with you. So I've been playing in my traveler's notebook and I've been using the Marvy Le pens to outline, which have been really good because they're fine liners. So I outlined first in pencil as per the instructions on the botanical kit.
Yeah.
And then I chose, because there's the three stencils, the
Yeah.
one with the stems is amazing because I have trouble imagining how the stems will go.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
having that is
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
leaves are incredibly difficult to make look natural.
Yes. Yeah.
And they just seem to, well, I think they look really natural and much more natural than I could draw natively.
Gorgeous.
And the petals are great, and how you can mix and match each to create, it just makes it look like I'm such a wonderful artist.
You are.
I'm really looking forward to getting at those with some watercolors as well, and creating a bit of, a bit of splash of color throughout them all. But I imagine like the fine liners and fine tip pens would just be perfect with creating gorgeous, gorgeous arrangements.
Yeah, for sure. I love my fine liners.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
So what is, I'm assuming you've had wonderful feedback. That's why you're looking at creating more of those. So what are some of those things that customers come back and sort of say, what's one of the favorite stories or favorite uses that people have gotten from your stencils?
I think my favorite one is, so I actually babysit these two little girls, and I gifted them my stencils to kind of play around with. And it's been really, really sweet seeing the different ages using them, because I know how I enjoy them with my bullet journaling, but then seeing the little girls have a little go and they just adore them. It's very cute. And every time I show up, they're like, have you got your stencils?
They're like, yeah, they don't love you anymore. They just want the stencil.
That's it. They use me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been really sweet. And I even get to ask them what kind of things they would like with new stencils and things.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Get some feedback
from future customers. Yeah.
That's it.
My sister is using them for her thank you cards.
Oh, that's a great idea.
She absolutely adores them, and she's like, it's totally up leveled them, and she doesn't feel the stress of having to, like, because she really feels strongly about handwritten and written notes. Yes. And so she said it just adds that touch to it. And I adore my sister, but I adore I adore how she's using them. That makes me feel really pleased, and knowing that that customers will love them, those who are creative and want to do things that are tactile, like,
yes, absolutely,
wedding invitations and thank you cards and everything like that. Yeah. Cool. I also love hearing about how creative people set up their day, because if there's one thing we know in this world, there's an expectation of productivity and being able to get the most out of every day.
Yeah.
But as a creative, we are visionaries, we're thinkers, we look at big pictures. So how do you get yourself in the mindset? How do you set up your workspace so that you're able to feel that creativeness, but also get things done?
Absolutely. I think one of my strongest tools for being creative is really getting a clear vision. So a list is actually my absolute go-to. I think if I sit down and I don't know what I'm about to do, it's very intimidating for me, and just kind of going with the flow and trying things. There's definitely a time and place, but I find that I have to first kind of get a clearer idea, and then I might go off on a tangent in kind of getting creative. So I'm also a very visual learner. So I love Pinterest.
Oh, isn't it?
So, yeah.
Dangerous?
It's very dangerous. Yes. I think I have to be inspired, and from that place, write a practical kind of list, or work it out on a piece of paper, or write it down, and then go from there.
Yeah. I find one of the magical things about creativity is that it works best within constraint.
Yes.
So, if you're just told to draw something, you'll be overwhelmed with all the things you can draw. But if you've got an idea in mind, then you know what steps to take.
Yes, I agree.
Something that could be overwhelming, much more manageable. Yeah. And I really enjoy setting constraint for myself.
Yes.
I'm mostly good at it.
Yeah.
TikTok and Pinterest are my two channels that I tend to go on for a specific purpose, and then I find myself somewhere else completely.
How did I get here?
Who am I? What type of man? What is this?
I'm sure. Yeah.
So, what can you not do without whenever you're getting into that mindset for sitting down to do that visionary work?
I think it's really just inspiration. If I don't feel like doing something and I can't see how it's actually going to be done, it really feels you just have to brute force it. And I find that I'm not very productive then, and I'm not really doing the best work that I could do anyway. So I
Yeah.
think for me, I love to get just inspired in day to day activities, whether I'm going for a walk and listening to a podcast, or scrolling through Pinterest, getting more ideas, things like that, just help me to kind of envision, my ideas and actually make them practical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I think a lot of us tend to, get up first thing in the morning and think about what am I going to do first,
Mm,
rather than sitting there and absorbing,
mm,
or just being in the moment or being present and allowing inspiration to come to them. So I think that's really, really lovely. Might
mm.
try that. I haven't tried that. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I do go for a walk every morning and try to do exercise, but usually what I'm doing while I'm walking is thinking about all the things I'm going to do when I get back from the walk,
Yeah,
instead of just
absolutely.
being.
Yeah.
So
I think
anything,
time and place, you need to process things too. So that's
yeah,
good too.
yeah, that's exactly right. I also like to do with all of my creators is a quick like this or that.
Yes.
And
Oh, amazing.
what I'd like to do is to just quick fire, no time to think, just answer off the top of your head, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
So this is one or the other, digital or analog,
Digital.
early or late,
Early.
quiet or noisy,
Quiet.
inside or outside,
Outside.
hardcover or soft cover,
Soft cover.
introvert or extrovert,
Extrovert. Middle.
pen or pencil,
Pen.
coffee or tea.
I don't think I can decide.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and understanding more about the process of how you came up with the stencils, and where you're planning to go. I love little plans of world domination. So thank you so much for sharing. And I know that the gang of stationery loving legends that I'm very fortunate to be a part of is absolutely going to love hearing about this. So thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much, Leona.
Thanks, Sarah. Have a lovely day.
You too.